Connected, but not online. While your Wi-Fi can say everything is fine, while the internet quietly refuses to load, and how to think your way through it, one layer at a time. Sometimes your device tells you something that feels confusing. It says one word, connected. The little Wi-Fi symbol is there. The signal looks strong. Your phone, your tablet, your laptop, all seem to be exactly where they should be. But then you open a website and nothing loads. You try a video and it keeps spinning. You send a message and it stays stuck, half sent, waiting for a road that never appears. And this is the moment when most people say the same four words: my Wi Fi is broken. In IT, that sentence is almost always too simple because Wi Fi and the internet are not the same thing. And once you really feel the difference, a surprising number of everyday problems suddenly start to make sense. So let's slow it right down. What connected actually means. When your device connects to Wi Fi, it is connecting to a local wireless network. Your phone or laptop is talking to your router, that box in your home with the blinking lights. The router creates the wireless signal, and your devices reach out and grab onto it. So when your phone says connected to Wi Fi, what it really means is closer to this: I can reach the router. What it does not mean is I can reach the internet. That gap between the two is a whole story. Picture it: your router is the front door of your home network. Your phone can walk up to that door, knock, and watch it swing open. But the road outside the house may still be blocked. That road is your internet connection. The router still needs a healthy link to your provider, the company that connects your home to the wider world. So there are really two separate steps. First, your device connects to the router. Second, the router connects to the internet. If the first step works, you see Wi Fi. If the second step fails, you have Wi Fi and no internet at the same time. A strong signal only proves you're close enough to the router. It says nothing about the router's own connection to the world. Another way to feel it: imagine calling a friend inside the same building. The internal line works perfectly, but if the building outside the line has been cut, you still can't call anyone beyond the walls. Your local connection is fine. The external one isn't. That's exactly Wi Fi with no internet. Why your device needs an address. When your device joins a network, it doesn't only connect physically, it also needs information. And most importantly, it needs an IP address. An IP address is like a temporary home address inside the network. It quietly announces this is where this device lives. Without one, your phone may be holding the Wi Fi signal in its hand and still have no idea how to actually talk to anyone. This is where a background helper called DHCP steps in. You never see it, you never configure it, but every time your phone joins the Wi Fi, a tiny conversation happens. Can I have an address? Yes, use this IP, this gateway, this DNS server. That word, gateway, matters. The gateway is usually the router itself, the one device that knows how to send traffic outside your home. Your phone never sends a video request straight to the wider internet. It hands everything to the router first, and the router forwards it onward. The router isn't just a Wi Fi box, it's a traffic manager deciding where every packet goes. DNS and the names behind the numbers. There's one more invisible character in this story: DNS, the system that translates website names into numbers. Human type names like website address, computers underneath only deal in numbers. So every time you type a name, your device turns to the DNS server and asks, what's the address for this place? When DNS stumbles, the internet can feel broken, even though the connection underneath is perfectly alive. This is why sometimes your apps still work, but websites won't load, or some sites open while others fail. The road is open, the map is just failing to read. The Wi-Fi signal, the router, the modem, the provider, DHCP, DNS on one single misbehaving device. 7 different culprits wearing the same costume. The path the single page has never had to travel. This is why troubleshooting matters. You don't want to randomly restart everything and hope. You want to follow the path, link by link, and find where it breaks. Device, Wi Fi, router, modem, provider, DNS, website. That's the chain. Every link has to hold. And the real shift in mindset is this. Instead of asking, does it work? IT people ask a sharper question. Where does it stop working? Make it practical. Imagine your laptop says it's connected, but nothing loads. Here's how to narrow it down. Point 1. Do other devices work? If your phone also has no internet on the same Wi-Fi, the problem probably isn't your laptop. It's the router, the modem, or the provider. But if the phone is fine and only the laptop fails, the internet itself is likely healthy. The trouble is inside the laptop. A bad IP address, misconfigured DNS, stuck Wi-Fi adapter, and interfering VPN. Or device is still clinging to an old network state. One device broken, look at that device. Every device broken, look at the network. Point 2. Are you on the correct network? It sounds trivial, but it happens constantly. A device quietly latches onto a guest network, a repeater, a neighbor's open signal, or an old router name that still lingers. The Wi-Fi symbol only tells you that you're on a network, not the right one. Point 3. Does the router show an internet light? Many routers have separate lights for power, Wi-Fi, and internet. If Wi-Fi is glowing, but the internet light is red, dark, or blinking strangely, that's your clue. It's broadcasting a signal while having no healthy path outside. Can you reach the router itself? On most home networks, the router lives at the local address. If a settings page opens, your local Wi-Fi link is working fine. So if websites still won't load, the problem lies somewhere beyond your own four walls. Networks are built in layers. At one layer, your device talks to Wi-Fi. At another, it gets the IP address. At another, it uses DNS. At another, it opens a connection to a server. And finally, the server answers. A failure at any layer can look like the internet is broken. But the cause is different at each time. This is also why restarting the router so often helps. Not because restarting is magic, but because the router holds temporary state, addresses it has handed out, connections it's juggling, routing tables, DNS forwarding, memory that can clog. A restart sweeps all of that clean. But if the problem keeps returning, there's usually a deeper reason waiting underneath: an aging router, a weak signal in one room, interference, too many devices, an unstable provider link, a confusing repeater, an IP conflict, or an unreliable DNS server. Patterns worth noticing. Fails in only one room, probably Wi-Fi coverage. Fails on every device at once, likely the provider or router. Apps work, but websites don't, suspect DNS. Only one device fails, check that device first. Drops when everyone's streaming, bandwidth or router load. This is how troubleshooting becomes calm instead of frantic. You stop thinking everything is broken and start thinking which part of the path is failing. IT is rarely about knowing every answer at once. It's about asking a better question. A green icon is only the beginning. Connected to Wi-Fi doesn't mean connected to the internet. A strong signal doesn't mean a working route. A router that works locally doesn't mean the provider is reachable. And a page that won't load doesn't always mean the whole internet is down. Every step has to hold the full round trip. It is what makes a single page appear. Device, Wi-Fi, router, modem, provider, internet, Server, you. When one part fails, the whole experience feels broken. But now you can separate it. The Wi Fi symbol is only the start of the story. It says, I found the local network, it does not stay. The entire path is healthy. In technology, a green icon doesn't always mean everything works. Sometimes it only means one layer works. The deeper truth is always underneath. And the more you understand those layers, the less mysterious technology becomes. The internet isn't magic, it's a chain of systems, and when you learn to follow the chain, you learn to think like IT, one layer at a time. If you enjoy understanding how everyday technology really works, my other channel, Mosy Horizons, explores deeper questions about time, meaning, and the way we experience reality. But here in the Learning Lab, we keep opening the machines around us, one layer at a time.